Hey y'all, welcome back to Right at the Wire. Well, today we're going to recap the Preakness Stakes, the second jewel of the Triple Crown. And it was a small field, but I thought it was a pretty darn good race. So let's take a look at it and see what happened. So here we go with the Preakness. Anybody else notice all the interesting camera angles? A little different than usual. But anyway, we're off on the break. Everybody got away pretty well. A little jostling in the middle, but nothing to any great effect. See National Treasure, broke really well, better than usual, and right out to the lead. And we kind of thought he might be up near the pace. Wasn't overly certain he was going to get the lead, though. And you see Coffee with Chris kind of bearing out a little bit there, and I think he seems like he's almost a little lost not being on the lead. But this is really where I think he won the race, in my opinion, right here at the first couple of fractions. Getting off to a soft pace, I really think it compromised the other horses in the back. Particularly, you see Mage is not running his race. He's up closer to the pace. Red Route 1s, they're all up closer than they want to be, and it prevents them from making that one big sustained run. Particularly Red Route 1, we saw him making that middle move. Wasn't really able to do it. He just sort of had to wait and hopefully have a position. And I think... I can't recall the jockey on Red Route 1 was trying to get him into the... You see him trying to make a move and get him up there because he knows if he doesn't, they're going to lose him. And but just wasn't able to do it. It just is contrary to his style. I think, Mage probably made the best effort at it. Blazing Seven's more of a mid-pack stalker anyway. Really a huge race, I thought, and... he really gave it its all. It's just that National Treasure had a little bit more in the tank at the end. But at this point, you had to believe that Mage was going to inhale them, and he just really flattened out. He just couldn't get it going. And I think it was we were afraid that he would regress a little bit from the Derby, but I thought he could still run a race good enough to win, and apparently not. So all the credit goes to National Treasure, though. Winning it on the front end is not an easy thing to do, particularly in a Triple Crown race. And Bob Baffert is right back in the game where he was prior to all the hijinks. Well, if you like race riding and great jockey tactics from a great jockey, I think you had to like the Preakness. It was a little disappointing having a small field, that's true, and a little anticlimactic after the Derby. But one thing you could take away from it is that Johnny Velasquez is not in the Hall of Fame for nothing. He put on a masterful ride. He took advantage of the rail. He got up on the lead. He slowed the fractions down, and so many of the horses he took out of their comfort zone, they could not run the race they wanted to, particularly Red Route 1 and Perform. The deep closers, they knew they had to be more forwardly engaged. They tried to be, and they didn't have anything left in the stretch, particularly Red Route 1 just flattened out and ran a flat fourth, and really there looked like a point where he could have made a move, and I was thinking he was going to, and then he just sort of flattened right out again. So I think that a lot of that had to do with not having pace to run to. I think Perform not only was out of his comfort zone, he was a prisoner of his style, if you will, but I think he also was regressing off a really big effort. And so I wasn't totally surprised that he was off the board. Just little other minor things, like Coffee with Chris wants to be on the lead, and National Treasure not letting him get to the lead, took him out of his comfort zone too. And you saw on that first turn, he kind of looked a little out of sorts because he wasn't on the lead and didn't know what to do after that. Coffee with Chris wasn't going to matter in the race, but it just is a case in point of controlling the race from the front end and taking a lot of horses out of their element. Mage responded to it, I thought, pretty well. He's a handy horse, but I think, he was okay rating. The big problem was he just didn't have enough horse in the tank when they got to the stretch, and we were afraid he might regress a little bit. And I thought he ran a good race, but it just was a kind of a non-factor third. He really didn't factor in the race. Aside from National Treasure, Blazing Seven, you'd have to say ran the best race. He stalked at a slow pace. He was right there, made his move in the stretch. Just, Johnny V was able to bear out a little bit to the right, tilt National Treasure's head. I thought that was cool as hell, watching those two dueling down the stretch. And he was just able to keep that horse from getting a little bit of an edge. And then he had a little bit more in the tank to pull off the win. So To me, it was Johnny Velasquez's shining hour. I thought he was outstanding, and it just shows what a master craftsman he is. And I think he deserves a lot of credit for National Treasure taking the Preakness. We thought he was going to have a big move forward, and he did. Our analysis pointed to it. So I hope you had him, and I hope you enjoyed the race. We will have more with our Belmont card series. Every day they have racing, we'll have a sequence, so be on the lookout for that. And we're going to do our elements of handicapping again for the Belmont. So the closer we get to it, we will have that for you to look at. I'm thinking about trying to do maybe some other little features leading up to the Belmont. Just little handicapping points, or maybe some profiles of the field, or maybe trainer profiles. I don't know. I'm still thinking about them. So there may be some special little items on the way. So be on the lookout for that as well. Of course, if you do like what you see here, please like and subscribe. And we do thank you for coming by. And I love the way this community is growing. I love having all you guys here. I hope you're enjoying it. And keep the comments coming, good, bad, or indifferent. I love to hear from you. And I'll be talking to you in the near future. And until then, be well.